welcome you to this exciting event. It's such a major milestone to be able to have this beautiful house ready for the Other Side Village. We appreciate all the dignitaries and civic leaders and contributors and donors. We also welcome the Other Side Academy neighbors who are preparing to enter the village. We already have started a program called the Welcome Neighborhood, and we have some of them here with us today, as well as the Other Side Village staff and the Other Side Academy staff. We're so grateful for everyone's attendance today. We're first going to hear from Joseph Grenny, our chair of the Other Side Village, then hear from Braxton, one of the U of U students who helped design and build this, and then we'll hear from Mayor Erin Mendenhall. After she speaks, we'll have a transmittal of the keys from the U of U to the Other Side Village. Joseph?
Thank you so much for being here. What a wonderful morning, isn't it? How many of you have been part of the planning and preparation and visioning from the beginning? Raise your hands. Many of you have, and thank you. We honor you, and today is the culmination of so much dedication and effort on your behalf, on your part, and so many others as well. But it's just the beginning. 16 months ago, Mayor Mendenhall and I were accompanied by 7 students, some of whom are standing here today from the Other Side Academy, to announce our intention to create the Other Side Village, a permanent, beautiful, self-reliant community for the chronically homeless that does more than provide a house. Its purpose is to change lives. The backdrop was City Hall and a hopeful graphic of the village. As the announcement was made, potential neighbors in Glendale and Poplar Grove became understandably nervous that the project would hurt their community. Other critics in the community took aim at our belief that the chronically homeless were capable of self-reliance. Some took offense at our suggestion that hard work and personal change were preconditions to a better life. And some still say that creating such a large community is a recipe for disaster. But we've seen over the past 16 months that most don't share that skepticism. In fact, we've seen Utah come together to bring this vision to reality. In the past 16 months, a virtual village has already formed, and you're part of it. The Glendale and Poplar Grove neighborhoods have opened their arms. Many of their leaders, some of whom are here today, and a vast majority of their citizens have welcomed the village. They've seen that we come bearing gifts, not problems. Builders and developers have given time and treasure. Hundreds have opened their checkbooks. Architects, engineers, schools, healthcare professionals, lawyers, business people, and many more have raised their hands and given their time. It takes a village to build a village, and no one knows how to come together to solve problems like Utah. We now have much more than a dream and some graphics. We have our first 2 completed homes and more underway. We have a strong plan built in partnership with Mayor Mendenhall and her gifted team. And most importantly, we're joined today by 5 of the 7 pioneers who have come from the streets to build the Other Side Village. These intrepid men and women are smitten with the same belief as the rest of us, that people like them are capable of self-reliance, that people like them can form a community that contributes to their neighbors, that people like them can admit that they aren't perfect and need the high expectations of peers to help them strive for greatness. In other words, that people like them are just like the rest of us. We all need community to achieve our potential. And like the rest of us, these determined 5 and the other 2 that aren't here today will not do it alone. This beautiful home built by the University of Utah School of Architecture is tangible evidence of the virtual village that has spontaneously formed to bring about the vision of the Other Side Village for all of us. While this house is special, what it represents is more so. It is sacrificial subscription paid by loving faculty and students of the U. They are now subscribed for life to kinship with the village that knits these builders with hundreds who will give heart and soul to forging a community that will lift all it includes. In the end, The antidote to brokenness is not philanthropy, but community. This house is not the solution, but it is evidence of the virtual village that is the solution. Thank you to the School of Architecture for this house, and welcome to our village. There are many who deserve to be thanked today, but few of them want that. Community is its own reward. So rather than thank you, I say to all of you who have helped envision, design, approve, recruit, communicate, engage, pay, and influence, we see you, we are you, we love you. Welcome to our village. Will the other side village succeed? I don't think that's the question. The question is, does it deserve to exist? We villagers believe that even the most marginalized communities have enormous potential. We stand today in the midst of incredible and inarguable evidence of that at the Other Side Academy. We believe that none of us achieve our potential alone. We all need the love, support, and high expectations of peers. Can people like us create something as audacious as the Other Side Village? If not us, then who? This house, these five, and the virtual village that has assembled already show us that we already have. Thank you.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming. I most of all just feel incredibly blessed to be here and incredibly blessed to work on a project like this. When I came to the University of Utah, the biggest proponent that was the most appealing was the design build program. We have two of them. There's actually only 4 universities across the entire country that offer a design build program. The University of Utah is the only one that offers 2. One for design build Bluff that works with Navajo Nation, and then one that works with Salt Lake City. For me, it was a no-brainer to actually work in the city that our school operates in and also impact the community that we live around with every day. So being a part of this process, being able to work with the Other Side Village, and most importantly, get some fantastic mentorship from Sarah Winkler and Grant Marriott. Sarah was our wonderful professor and the brain behind all of it, and then Grant, most of us students had never picked up a tool even before we started, and by looking at how beautiful this is, with some people even scared to hold a hammer, is pretty remarkable. And that's big thanks to Grant and Sarah for doing that. So give a round of applause. We were joking right when this finished that Grant and Sarah were herding kittens, but by the end of it, we all became lions. And so I think the most impactful thing about this program is being able to give back to the community. We, when it was craned off and lifted away, I was unfortunately in the office, so I couldn't see it, but we've got so many videos and pictures, and you know, when you spend 4 months building this and you know where every nail and screw is on it, you worry about, and I hope it survives a hurricane, I hope it survives a crane lift, but it did. And then when it got here, the reception from the community, there was about 100 people cheering for it, and then you don't realize every day when you're sweating on a membrane roof about like what this impacts, but then when you see the response, that's when you really realize how special and how blessed of an opportunity it was to work on this. So I couldn't be more grateful for my experience, and I hope we have a continued relationship with them, but if not, this was a wonderful time that I got to have, so thank you very much.
Do you feel the energy here today?
Oh yeah.
Braxton, Lion, and all the Lions that you work with now, you are the next leaders to help build, hopefully, subsequent communities, villages, and homes, really, for people. So thank you for turning from a kitten into a lion and taking on something so bold. Thank you to our council members, Councilmember Anval Moros, Councilmember Ali Pui, Councilmember Victoria Picho Eschler. Thank you for being here today. When the Other Side Academy and I first announced the Other Side Village just over a year ago, as Joseph talked about, we had big ideas and we had dreams for helping members of our unsheltered community that have struggled to be successful in the temporary shelters, in the homeless resource centers that we have today. Here we are, seeing a real-life structure with keys to a door that are about to be handed over. It's a tangible sign of the progress that has been hard at work for a long time now, and it's never ever been done before in our state. When we stood before this ambitious vision, announcing something that we were going to take on, we knew there were pathways yet to be illuminated. There were challenges we were going to have to define and then solve before we could get to the point we are today. That's the work that's been happening diligently between the Other Side Village community and Salt Lake City Corporation. And I can't thank all of you enough for not giving up. This was a how do we get to yes, not how many ways can we figure out that it's too hard to do. Every single time we said we have to keep going, there is a way, we will find a way to make this a benefit for Salt Lake City broadly, and especially for the residents who we can't wait to welcome into the village. So this week, I'm excited to announce that my team is going to transmit the public benefits analysis to the City Council for their consideration. And this is what we've been waiting for. The public benefits analysis is something that any city or government organization has to do in order to define what the broad public good will be in exchange for the use of our through a discounted lease of city-owned land. Anytime we give something, we have to define what that broad good is. And it's not as simple as you might think, but we've done it. This public benefits analysis will now go through the council's public process, and you all can have your voices heard through the public hearings that they will schedule. And they will consider this what we call a PBA, the public benefit analysis, with the rezone. And those two things coupled together, should they make their way through our city council, will be the last step for us as a city corporation to be able to make the village happen on site. Like everyone here, unsheltered individuals have unique stories, unique needs, and desires, and that's why our solutions for homelessness have to be varied and diverse. The Other Side Village will be a solution for unsheltered residents who don't want to seek shelter if it means leaving behind the community and the friendships that they've made on the street and they live with today. By creating a place where those values that I know, that you know, we all need, where they're welcomed and they're facilitated through community building, we hope that those who've struggled with chronic homelessness can find a place not only to say yes to, but to be seen and loved and included and have a safe home over their heads. In addition, Salt Lake City continues to lead on affordable housing, and we know that the solution to homelessness is obviously housing, but again, how diverse and how accessible and how unique that housing is matters. And it matters in whether or not people can and will say yes. We need more. And so the City Council approved my request of $20.1 million for affordable housing just for this year. And that money on top of the state's investment of $27.5 million for affordable housing in Salt Lake County alone is going to move mountains. It's going to open literal doors for housing that we haven't had before. We're going to keep putting forward compassionate solutions. Some of them may be straightforward, others may take us just over a year to figure out how to bring them to fruition, but we won't stop. Salt Lake City's adamant about it, and I really applaud our City Council for standing with us in these tough conversations and helping us find a way to yes. We're so excited to welcome the village as a piece of the portfolio of options that we can offer people who need housing today. Thank you to the University of Utah, to these graduate students, to the Other Side Village, to our city teams for doing all that you are to create solutions that are tailored to the diverse needs of our unsheltered individuals. And last but not least, I want to say thank you and I love you to my friends at the Other Side Academy, to the students here who proved to me and to any of you who ever had the chance to meet and know them that absolutely the Other Side Village can be a success, that there is unique potential, tremendous potential in every population of human beings who can be seen and loved and supported into well-being. And I thank you and I love you for changing my life and showing me how successful we can be when we work together. I'm proud of you and I look up to you all. Thank you for keeping on this path.
Thank you for your leadership and your continued support, Mayor. Really appreciate it. Want to make a special mention we're going to offer tours after, and as you go through, I want you to notice the beautiful furnishings. They were provided and donated and arranged by Denton House. So you want the Denton House team. Thank you so much for your hard work, short notice. If we could have the University of Utah team come up, and then if we could have any of the villagers who want to come up, the neighbors and the staff come up and stand on this side. Mayor, can you join them? We're going to have a formal transmittal of the keys from the University of Utah to the village.
Wasn't prepared to do a formal transition, but to the house.